Today on the Crispy Donut community, we're going to be asking the age-old question, fixed blade or folder? We're going to put both of these knives through some rigorous tests and see which one comes out on top. Let's get into it. See, that they just... Ooh, did you see that? So today we're going to be testing these two knives head to head. Here in my left hand, I have the Kizer Smolt and CDC collaboration. This is not out yet. We're not 100% sure if it's going to happen, but it is a similarly priced fixed blade to what I have in my right hand here, which is the CDC Hanson Wharncliffe. These just dropped, and I think they're sold out right now, but keep an eye on the site for pre-orders and new releases, stuff like that. But these two are going to go up head to head to finally settle the debate, fixed blade or folder. So why would you pick a fixed blade over a folder or a folder over a fixed blade? Well, starting with the fixed blade, these have always been meant for the heavy duty tasks because there is no pivot point. Therefore, these guys are made for anything that's going to be high stress or such as. But on the other hand, you'd pick the folder because of that pivoting mechanism. This thing slides into your pocket really nicely. You don't have to worry about a sheath, and they're just so useful for everyday carry for those things that 99% you don't need this for. But as things get better, as our locks progress, and as our fixed blades get smaller, the line starts to get a little bit blurred. We have everyday carry fixed blades that have a similar footprint to some folding knives. So let's put those to the test today. Let's put some things to the test. We're going to take them out behind the woodshed here and beat on them. We're going to test how they cut, how they hold up to abuse, how useful they are, and the size and everything like that. So without further ado, let's get into it. Starting out with size. So you can tell which one of these wins in this category. For ease of use, for ease of carry, I should say, obviously the folder is the best. Even when opened, it doesn't take up as much space as this fixed blade. And that's mainly due to the sheath and this knife having to always be this length. Now, as you can tell, when these blades are open, they're around the same length. This one might be a little bit wider, but of course, when you fold it up, you've got a much smaller package, as well as, of course, that pocket clip. Now, modern day innovations have given us stuff like ulti clips and stuff like these clips right here where this can ride on your belt, but it still doesn't come near to the smallness of this Hanson right here, the folding knife. So point for, I guess, carryability goes to the folder. Up next is ergonomics. So the folder has to have this slit in the scales, so of course the blade has somewhere to go. Good thing about the fixed blade is none of that. So you get a full tang design, and ergonomics, now these are two different designs. However, ergonomics are typically better on fixed blades because you have that continuous flow over, you have that continuous spot where your hand won't be digging in there. So that leads to longevity of use as well as comfortability. Is that the right word? But yeah, so comfortability, ergonomics would go to the fixed blade even if these were the same designs. Now, ease of use. I'm gonna almost give them a tie. Now, like I said earlier, carryability goes to the folder. But the fixed blade, however, is just as easy because it's simply pull it, whether it be on the belt, no matter where it is, it just pops right out of the sheath. Now, the other hand, the folder, you just pull it out of your pocket and one swift motion and it's opened. Especially with our modern day ball bearings and stuff, it's pretty easy. Now, you could argue that the fixed blade was a little easier. Problem is, though, getting the fixed blade back into the sheath, depending on where you're carrying it, a little bit harder. So I'm gonna make this a tie. This one, there's an extra step to it, which is opening and closing. This one, yes, you pull it out, but then you have to find it to put it back in. It's much easier to slide a folder into your pocket. So we're gonna give them a tie on that. So it's 1-to-1 right now with a tie in the middle. So that's just like the kind of stuff we can look at. Now, let's actually put these things to the use test and see what happens. So first things first, let's stick them in the block of wood. This is gonna be our torture device right here, or part of it. Anyways, so typically I've done at least 1 or 2 more torture tests. I know one, it's on my channel if you want to go check it out on EDCNC. We're just going to start out with cardboard. That's pretty simple, pretty easy. We'll let the folder go first. So here we have again Wharncliffe. This is a D2 blade. Now, we won't be testing it much as far as the blade steel. You can get a Smolt in D2, and it's also around that $60 price range. So these guys really come in as a good comparison. But D2, we're going to be cutting through this. Blade grinds, all these different things matter, but you'll see that they just sail right through it. Now, this is a thin pizza box, but of course Folder, just fine. You're not gonna hurt your folder doing that. If you do, it's not much of a folder. And of course the fixed blade sails right through it. Now, I should note that these guys have a little bit of a difference in thickness. The Hanson, a little thinner. The Smolt, a little bit thicker. So that was easy. Cardboard, you know, no problem. We can even cut against the grain if we want to. Smolt, good. The Hanson, good. So both are fine on cardboard. As you can see here, we can take them both, stab them into the wood. They're fine. So it doesn't really matter here, fixed blade or folder. You might want the folder for something like if all you're doing is breaking down cardboard, because it's gonna, you know, fold up real nicely and go in your pocket afterwards. And if you want a fixed blade for doing a little bit harder task, that's more what it would be for. So everything so far has kind of been whichever one you prefer. Now let's get down to the nitty gritty a little bit. Of course, they'll both cut cardboard. That's not going to be a strength test, but now we're going to throw them into the block of wood. We're going to baton with them a little bit. Of course, we know that the fixed blade is going to be tougher, but will the folder hold up? That's the question. People always talk about, I gotta have a fixed blade because of the strength. Gotta have a fixed blade because of the strength. But let's see how well this can keep up, and maybe, just maybe, you can get rid of that bulky fixed blade and go with a folder. So we're gonna throw it into this block of wood 10 times each, starting with the fixed blade, then the folder comes in. I'm probably gonna miss, I'm probably gonna do whatever, but we're gonna keep a close eye on them, see if we see any damage or blade play, lock rock, anything like that in this. If that starts to happen, we'll know we're not keeping up. So, first, the Smolt. All right, we're gonna give it a really good one on 10. Oh yeah. All right, so big shocker. The lock didn't fail. There isn't one. So a little bit of scuffing on the blade. Actually, it brushes right off. I will say these marks right here were because I took it to the beach with us and put it in and out of the sheath with sand in the sheath. So that's what the scratches are. But scuffs and stuff, it's fine. No problems. We're not testing steel, like I said, but everything's good. No bent tip, no issues. And as I said, the lock didn't fail. It didn't bend because there isn't one. So of course we knew the fixed blade would be fine. Now let's try out the folder. All right, ready. This is going to be a good test. Ready? 1. 9. All right. As I did on the last one, 10. Ready? Gonna give it a good chuck. Ooh! Did you see that? Okay, so there is why you might want a fixed blade. So we can't hold up to it with the liner lock. I'll replay it in slow motion there, but we saw the lock fail for half a second, and snap back. Thing is though, a little bit of side to side play now, but no up and down. Let's hit it, see if we have any blade failure. Wow, no, okay, holding up really nicely. Don't worry, my fingers are out of the way. So man, I must have thrown it just right to get that lock to fail. So as far as like really beating on it, this didn't last. But the thing is with locks, you can kind of vibrate them to where they're gonna disengage enough, you know? So now let's try batoning with it, see if we get the same thing. So now batoning, all right? I do not expect the fixed blade to fail at all in this. This is a bit of a funky piece of wood, so bear with me. Also a really short blade, but absolutely no problem. Don't have a very long handle here. Let's take it and do the trick where we... So we've beaten a good ways into that, and no failure, of course. No lock to fail, no nothing like that. The tip hasn't broken, and I actually had a take before this that I drove the Smolt into a board. We're all good. Everything's straight. Everything looks good. No problems. The tip held up fine. But the main thing that we're going to want to test out is the lock. So now let's grab the Hanson, see how it performs. So now the folder. Now this is where I expect us to have some problems here. Same piece of wood, we just flipped it over. Now we are a little closer to the knot, but we're just going to try to drive down as far as we did on that other piece. Try our best to go with the grain. There we go, and let's go. Alright, so as we're hitting out towards the front, it's fine. Let's hit right there on that lock. I don't have enough of a tip on it really to hit, but let's keep driving it. All right, let's see if we can get it to fail just by hitting it here at the back. So I didn't even beat it as hard as I did the fixed blade. Let's see if we've got any play. All right, we've got a little bit of up and down play. Side to side isn't bad. Let's see if it'll fail now. All right, let's just drive it into this log. Ooh, you see that? Uh-oh. Oh, a lot of lock rock there. And I think we've ruined it. So let's see what our issue was here. So we've got a lot of up and down play. And I don't know what our problem was. Well, I think what we did was we like pressed in on the liner a bit too hard and it got a little rocky there. Let's drive it in again just for fun. We'll do these guys side by side. There's what used to be a CDC Hanson. There's a Kizer Smolt. So the folders, liner lock at least, can't hold up to what the fixed blades can yet. Big shocker, I know. So there we go. Obviously, the folder isn't gonna hold up to what the fixed blade. So if you're putting your knife through all kinds of crazy, dangerous crap, then fixed blade's gonna be the way to go. So big shocker, the folder didn't hold up to what the fixed blade could do as far as strength went, and that's okay. The reason is these are two different tools. This one is more for ease of use. This one is more for carrying around compactness. This one is more for doing some of that heavier duty tasks. I knew that when I started, and obviously I lied at the beginning of the video. We're not settling the age-old debate. You never will until, I guess, you come out with a knife that's the folder that's just as strong as a fixed blade. But it was fun, and really it was just an excuse to come out here and beat the snot out of our Hanson and our maybe soon-to-be Smolt. We'll see how that goes. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Let me know in the comments below, which do you choose, a fixie or a folder? Again, hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, all those wonderful things, and remember, stay crispy.